So welcome to my January monthly budget. I'm going to be planning out my budget for the month of January, and we are going to be doing our first monthly budget for the year 2025. So this is really exciting, and we are jumping into my new planner that I have for 2025. And I showed you guys the other day, we already did my calendar planning with me, and then I wanted to show you. So I ended up, because I talked about this in the last video, I ended up going ahead and so far on right now what I've done is listed out just my when my yearly subscriptions are due. I've done that right now. That's what I'm going to do for this little section. And I just put some washi because it did say birthday tracker. So I just kind of put some colorful washi over there and put a couple stickers and just called that good. I may end up doing something different later, but for now, that's what I decided to do with this. Let's flip over here to January and just kind of a little recap. So I already had, let me slide my candle out of the way. Maybe we'll put it back just a little. I kind of run out of room. I like to have it, but I kind of run out of room. Let me see if I can kind of adjust you guys a little bit. So this was my layout that I did for my January calendar. So I listed, I put the stickers on for my bills, and I showed you all of that. And I kind of broke them out by the different paycheck. Because I'm getting paid 3 times for the month of January, I'll have 3 different paychecks to actually budget for this month. So my monthly budget is going to have an extra paycheck in it, but when we glance ahead to February, so I wouldn't get paid until February 14th. So it's kind of far into the month there. So I'll have a lot of bills that will come out that will end up coming out of this December 31st paycheck. Just kind of wanted to explain my January budget's going to have an extra paycheck in it because it is a magic month for me. But usually, like when it all breaks down in the end, a lot of the bills end up coming out of this paycheck for the end of the month, and I don't end up having as much money extra as one would think. But all that being said, we're going to set up my budget for the month of January and see what we come up with. Let me slide that out, that little bookmark. I think what I will do is actually put it in, if I can put this back in, let's see if I can slide that in. These kind of pop into place. And I'd like to be able to, well, maybe I'll get it to pop in, maybe I won't. It's kind of easier said than done on these. I was hoping, yeah, I'm messing up my nail polish. That's what I was afraid I was going to do. Oh, well, there, okay. I've kind of messed up my polish. I'll have to try to touch that up. Anyway, I think I will keep that bookmark there for now, just so I can refer back to this as needed. And I should have actually popped it up one, as I generally like to put it up a little higher. There, maybe I'll figure that out. Okay, so that way it's up above and I can flip back to it. Okay, so let me flip over to the January budget, and then I wanted to kind of just look ahead. So this is the week of January, let's see, ending on the 4th, and then this is the week ending on the 11th. This is the week ending on the 18th, and then this is the week ending on the 25th. Okay, so what I was wanting to see, so the last week of the month actually pops over into February, because that is that week. So I was just trying to figure out when I go and do my weekly check-in and stuff where that needs to go. So I think that's gonna be bumped over into the month of February. So I'll have to go for that last week of January. Okay, all right. So that is all fine and dandy. We can do that. Okay, so let me just fold this up and try to, I like to get you guys as close as I can. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. There, I think that's better. So we'll zoom you in a little bit. And I'll have my calendar there, and then we will go. Okay, so we are starting fresh for the month of January. And so I have never filled out one of these budgets, so it may be kind of a work in progress on how I want to do this, but I think it'll be pretty straightforward. So my income, so I'm going to have paycheck 1, and then paycheck 2, and then paycheck 3. And so I kind of round on my paychecks. I round down to the lowest $100 so that it would just makes it a little bit easier as far as crunching numbers. So my expected amount is $2,400. And then I can go through and later end up putting in my actual amount at that point. So that amount is going to be 2,400 times 3, which is $7,200. Okay. And then, so my fixed expenses, out of this, I always have tithe that I pull out. So one thing I have to think about this time is I'm actually going to have 3 paychecks. So I'm going to be pulling out more amount on some of my categories, like my cash envelope categories, which I'm going to list over here under my variable expenses. But I'll get to that whenever I get over there to that category. Next year when I move over to my budget mom, I think she has a fixed expense, a variable expense, and then kind of a cash envelope area, savings kind of area. So we'll probably do it a little differently next year, but for this year, this is what we're going to do. So I have my tithe that comes out, and so I try to take about $250 each paycheck, so that's going to be $750 that I'm going to take out. And then I have my mortgage that comes out, which is $1,500. And then I have my Roth IRA, which is $400. And then I have car insurance, which is somewhere around $110. I kind of budget a little high on that one because I never know exactly. Water is the same. It was a lot lower for me, and then it's gone up over the summer and fall when I was doing gardening more. So I've just been budgeting a little higher for water. And then electricity, I budget for $200, but that one also varies. So some months it's, maybe $100, and then in the wintertime it could be $300 or $400 because I'm all electric and I don't have any gas at my house. So so that one kind of varies. And let's see, and then Hulu TV, that's my TV cable, and it is $92 a month. And every time I write that down, I just cringe because I'm not using it, and I probably should just let it go, but I just haven't yet. I haven't given up yet on watching TV. And then I have internet and phone with Croccan, and then Apple Music. Even though this is a subscription, it's monthly, and so I just include it as one of my monthly bills. And I don't, since it's not a yearly subscription, I don't save for it like cash envelopes. Okay, and then so Apple Music is $6 a month for me. I think I have mentioned many times that it's whenever I was back in nurse practitioner school, I signed up for it, and then somehow it just is still renewed at that rate. It'll catch up with me eventually, but when it does, then I'll start paying the $10 or $11. But until then, I'm paying the $5.99 a month. And then iCloud is $2.99 a month. Okay, so that I believe is all of my kind of fixed expenses, bills that automatically come out of each paycheck. So we have $750 for tithe this month. My mortgage is still $1,500. Roth IRA will still be $400. Car insurance, water, electric, Hulu TV, trash, internet, and then Apple Music and iCloud. So the total is $3,232. So 32. Oh, how funny. So 32. And then we're going to move over now to my variable expenses. And I did have cash. I think the last time I did my budget, or not cash, gas, I think I had put it under my fixed expenses, but honestly, it really is a variable expense. I just don't save cash for this one. So it is my only variable expense that I just kind of budget for, and then we'll go through and add up when I do my weekly kind of check-ins and expenses and see how much I'm spending in that category. And then we'll be able to add up the actual at the end of the month. But gas right now is, I'm budgeting $300 a month. I was budgeting $400 and I cut back on that because I wasn't using that much gas, but I'm just, in January, I'll be going to another clinic, which is an hour and a half away from my house, which I'm not really excited about that because it means I'll be 2 days a week. I'll be traveling over an hour on Tuesdays and then an hour and a half on Wednesdays away from my house. So those are just super long days. So anyway, but I will be using more gas because I'll be doing a little more, it's going to be a little further trip. So we'll have to see come January kind of where I'm sitting at on gas. That should give me a really good idea of how much I'm spending come to the end of the month of January. And then groceries, I have been budgeting $400 a month, so $200 a paycheck. Now I'm trying to figure out if that should actually be more money. Okay, so now we're stopping and we're gonna take a look at something before I finish writing that out. So I get paid here, so I'll have $200 for there, and then I'll have $200 for there. I really need to take out another $200. So I actually need to change that to $600 a month. So let me go and erase that. I found these ink pens that have erasable ink, and it does a pretty good job. They are the Friction erasable. I got them off Amazon. Anyway, I'm so thrilled because I like doing it in ink, and then, you know, just like that, I goofed. So actually this should be $600 because, and there, I didn't mean to write we'll see if I can get this one done. $600. There we go. Okay, so 600 for groceries because I hadn't thought that one through. Okay, so then we have, we're moving down into my cash envelope. So the 600 for groceries, and then my pet care. I generally do $25 per paycheck, so that's going to be $75. Now I've got that thinking. So I have to go through here and calculate for each category. Okay, and then we have beauty, which I typically do $10 a paycheck, so that's going to be $30. And then gifts is also $10 a paycheck, so that will be $30 for this month. And then car maintenance typically is $15 a month, so that's going to be $45. And then lawn care is typically $25 a check, so that's going to be $75. And then Dropbox is going to be $15 because that's typically $5 per paycheck. Dropbox Canva is also going to be $15 because it's also $5. And then we have Prime, Amazon Prime, and it is, I typically save $6 a check, so that will be $18 this month. And then Costco is also the same, $18. And then Sam's Club, and these are my memberships, my yearly memberships, and that one generally is $5 a paycheck, so that will be $15 this month. Okay. So let me add up here my variable expenses. So we have 300 plus 600. And I wonder if actually, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm going to leave the gas the same. Because I generally pull out 100. Well, actually, I don't pull out any money for that. So I'll leave gas at 300. Because there's still only 31 days in the month. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll just see. I'm going to leave it. I was going to add another 150, but I think I'm going to leave it. So we have 300 for gas, somehow I messed up. 300, okay. And then 600 for groceries, 75 for pet care, 30 for beauty, 30 for gifts, 45 for car maintenance, 75 for lawn care, 15 for Dropbox, 15 for Canva, 18 for Prime, 18 for Costco, and 15 for Sam's Club. Sorry, okay, so the total on that is $1,236 of variable expenses / cash envelopes. So that's what is going to go into that. Mostly the only variable expense here is my gas. And then I'm trying to save for a new car. So I have a new car fund. And I am trying to put $400 a month into that. So we're going to put that in there. And then I'm not going to figure up yet, because if I have any extra this month, I'd like to put it towards mortgage and have a larger extra mortgage payment. But I'm not going to, and I know this sounds crazy, but until I do my paycheck budgeting out for the 3 paychecks for the month of January, I'm not going to go through and actually calculate what my extra payment on mortgage is going to be kind of till the end of the month, which is, I know it's a little bit backwards, but I don't want to end up saying, hey, I'm going to put this towards mortgage, and then I don't because the way the paychecks fell, and so some of the bills from paycheck 3 have to cover stuff in February, because that's always the way it is. So I like to do kind of a monthly budget to just kind of give me a general overview, but I really, the thing that I do the most is the paycheck budgeting, and it's just the easiest because then you know exactly every paycheck you get how much money is going where into what bill, and then how much you do have left over from that paycheck. And then that, once you do your paycheck budgeting, then you'll actually know like how much money you'll have left over at the end of the month to allocate to like extra debt payments and stuff like that. So that's kind of my summary here. So I don't have anything in rollover because I pretty much don't roll over money. I pretty much try to do a zero-based budget. So my income is going to be $7,200 this month. And then my fixed expense total is $3,232, and my variable expenses in cash envelopes is $1,236. Okay, so now we are going to just kind of see where we're sitting on things. Sorry, I kind of bumped you guys again. So 7,200 minus 3,232 equals, and then minus 1,236 equals, and then minus $400 for my new car fund, because that will automatically come out. So that's gonna roughly leave me $2,332 as extra money. It could possibly potentially be towards an extra mortgage payment or applying extra on my mortgage. So I may just take like $2,000 of that and apply that towards my mortgage, and then keep that extra like $332 just kind of as buffer in my account. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to call that. So extra on mortgage. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Okay, sorry. Extra on mortgage. And then I'm just going to say $2,000. And then I guess what we would do is, what I'll do is I'll leave that. No, I don't like to have anything in. I like to have zero, everything zeroed out. So we're just going to call it buffer. And we'll just leave it in my checking account, and that would be $332. Okay. So then that would be 400. I'm adding up what this category total will be, plus 2,000 plus 332 is 2,732. Okay, so then all right, so let's see here. When we add up everything, if we get to a zero, we should. Okay, so 7,200 minus 3,232 minus 1,236 minus 2,732 equals $0. Okay, so that gives me a zero-based monthly budget. So every dollar that comes in basically has a place to go, and it is going somewhere. So all right, that finishes up my January monthly budget. So it'll be kind of interesting when we come back later in the month and kind of see how much money I'm actually spending in gas, and I will, my cash envelopes and stuff like that, especially like my groceries, how much money I'm actually spending in groceries and stuff like that. So it'll be kind of interesting to kind of do an end of the month recap on where I was, and if I really am going to have this extra 2,000 to put on mortgage. I feel like that I'm not. By the time when I do my paychecks, I'll have to go through and just do my 3 different paycheck breakdowns for the month of January and see if I have that. Because I don't feel like it's going to be that much because of just the way the paychecks fall. But we'll see. In theory, I should be able to have about that much money left over to apply towards mortgage payment, which would be fantastic. I would love to be able to send over an extra $2,000 to my mortgage for the month of January. That would be wonderful because I know that that's not always going to happen every single month. So, all right. Well, this concludes my January monthly budget with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.